Our next guest is an Emmy-winning journalist and the moderator of Meet the Press, which airs Sunday mornings right here on NBC. She also anchors Meet the Press Now, which streams Wednesdays through Fridays on NBC News Now. Please welcome back to the show, Kristen Welker, everyone. Kristen.
Thank you. It is so fantastic to be back.
Yes, we only Zoomed once before. This is the first time you're here in person. This is the beginning of what will certainly be an interesting era for everybody in the news business.
Yes.
You spoke on the phone with President Trump on Saturday, and then you texted him on Monday to get a reaction to the Biden pardons of his family members. Were you expecting to hear back from the president on Monday, which was the inauguration?
I was actually not expecting to hear back. Just to zoom out a little bit, I'd asked my producer if I should call him on Monday. I said, I did just call him Saturday. She was like, I don't think you should call him on the day of the inauguration. Yeah. So I went with a text message, wasn't expecting to hear back. And then I was live on air and got the text that was signed DJT. So I went with it live on air, and we did analysis in real time.
Certainly, he has a reputation for, having a lot of animosity for the press. With that said, I mean, it must be fascinating to have a president who immediately gets back to you on text message.
It was a first for me,
yes.
Seth. I have to say that. It was, and look, this is a relationship that has been built over time. I covered his first administration. My first interview on Meet the Press was with then candidate Trump, and he gave me his first interview once he had been elected. So that's why I have that phone number. And I just took a chance. Sometimes you have to take a chance, and it worked out on that day of the
You do not have him in your phone as President Trump, right?
I don't, and I can't say...
Of course not, don't.
I can't say what I have him in my phone listed as. But let's just say, hopefully no one else would be able to tell.
Yes, right. You can't do anything obvious.
Exactly, exactly.
You mentioned you covered the first term. Credit where credit's due. He seems far more prepared for what he's trying to accomplish this time than the last time.
I think it's a great point. I mean, look, his first time had no governing experience whatsoever. And so he was coming into the White House. And as you pointed out in your opening remarks, a lot of people were surprised that he won. He was surprised that he won the first time around. This time, as someone who's close to him said, not only has he served 4 years in the White House, he's had 4 years to think about being president. This time he comes with a Republican Party that is galvanized around him. It was incredibly fractured during his first term, so he spent a lot of time fighting with Republicans. This time there's a lot of support for him in Congress, and so he's really amassed more power, not to mention the Supreme Court ruled that any president now has immunity for official acts. So a very different Trump 2.0.
One thing you would think maybe, because I agree, it does seem like he has the Republican Party behind him, you would think there might be a little pushback on the pardons of the January 6th rioters, especially when you consider, those rioters, I don't think they were very partisan in who they were causing discomfort to on that day, right? I mean, there were a lot of Republicans in the Capitol who also, I think, were, fearing for their safety. Do you think there will be any pushback on this, or do you think that in this era, everyone will just sort of get in line?
No, I think there has been some pushback. You're already seeing some Republicans come out and say, did we really need to pardon everyone, including the people who've pleaded guilty to violent crimes? His own vice president, J.D. Vance, said basically that he didn't think that people who were convicted of violent crimes would be pardoned. But having said that, look, President-elect Trump, candidate Trump, said he was going to pardon those who were convicted of crimes on January 6th. When I interviewed him on December, he said he's not ruling anyone out. So, no matter how you feel about this, I think people shouldn't be surprised. He said what he was going to do.
What are the other things he said he's going to do? One might even say promise. And look, I get in campaigns, people say a thing, is that he was going to bring down prices. And this was one, he's even said this is the issue we won on, right? Inflation. And yet people are saying tariffs, the deportation of undocumented workers there's a chance certainly they will bring
inflationary.
Inflation up. And you even asked him after he won re-election, are you going to be able to bring prices down? And he sort of already has backed off and said, look, it's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, his exact answer was, I can't promise anything.
Yeah.
He acknowledged.
Like right after months, one might say, promises.
But I'm glad you bring this up because I think at the end of the day, what people are going to judge him on is, can he bring down prices? This was one of the big reasons that I think a lot of people voted for him. It remains to be seen how this all plays out. Are these tariffs real? Are they a bargaining tool? But he doesn't have a whole lot of time to do it because in 2 years, Seth, people are going to be turning their attention and their sights to the midterm election. So I would say the race is on inside the White House to try to do that exact thing. Yes.
Do you think he might go to grocery stores with that little thing with the prices?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't rule it out.
I wouldn't rule it out. Okay. I wouldn't rule it out.
I would see him maybe sending J.D. Vance to do it.
He does like. Look, he's a former reality TV star. He understands the power of visuals. So.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, after that McDonald's thing, I think we'll see him in a lot of aprons.
There you go.
I have this to ask. You are a Eagles fan.
A big Eagles fan.
Big Eagles fan.
Big time Eagles fan.
You're hosting Meet the Press this Sunday.
Yes.
Be honest, how much will your headspace be thinking about the game?
I'm going to try my best to focus on Meet the Press.
It would be a bummer if you had these world leaders and you were like, what do you think Jalen Hurts is going to throw for?
It may or may not be my last question to every guest. No, but I should say, I've lived in D.C. now for over a decade.
Yeah.
So I'm not torn, but there is a lot of my friends are going to be.
And I will say, I mean, look, you obviously want your team to win, and you want them to win by a lot. The story of the Commanders is a nice story. I mean, Washington football fans have not had a good run of things.
I root for them all of the time, except for when they're playing against the Eagles.
And then you want them
this
to
Sunday,
absolutely be terrible.
And my parents, by the way, who still live in Philly, will be coming up to watch the game with us.
Oh, there you go. That's the best. Hey, thanks so much for making the time for us. I really appreciate it. Kristen Welker, everybody, Meet the Press here Sundays on NBC. We'll be right back.